So there's an art critic for New York Magazine with a divisive hot take. Pulitzer Prize winner Jerry Saltz writing this to his 603,000 followers. Quote, "If you know anyone who voted Republican, including friends and family, you should shun them. No need to even tell them that you are no longer communicating with them or why." Clearly, lots of reaction on social media to that post. One person responding, "You don't shun family members." Another, "Shame on you for pushing people in this way." And this propaganda divides us. Yeah, no kidding. Joe Concha, Fox News contributor and media columnist for The Hill. Did you see Chris Rock on his special? Did you happen to catch it? Because it was brilliant.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
And he made a lot of comments, you know, just attacking the left and the right. But one he mentioned, which I honestly didn't know where he was going at first, talking about how Ukraine is better off than the United States. He made such a poignant point. He actually said that Ukraine, they've been under war and attacked by Putin for a year, is more united than the United States. And that is a very sad fact. And it's because of people like this and politicians that are feeding into this BS.
Yeah, Julie, I'm glad I don't call Jerry Saltz daddy, right? Because let's say I did vote Republican in the last election. I'm not allowed to come over for the holidays anymore, Thanksgiving. I am not in his world anymore. And it's just amazing that it seems like Jerry Saltz is embracing what more and more in the left are embracing, right? Instead of civil, honest debate, simply cut off all communication. Stay in your safe space. And I'm sure that pious Mr. Saltz has talked about the importance of diversity before, but when it comes to the most important kind of diversity of thought on his planet, it's either agree with his orthodoxy or prepare to be exiled. And it's funny that this comes from an art critic, by the way, Julie, because as you know, one would think that he would embrace individual thought, considering that's the very foundation of art.
No,
but no dice.
I mean, it's just whining. It's whining. If you don't agree with me, then you're out. I mean, that's basically the mentality that if you cannot agree with everyone around you or they can't agree with you, then there's no need. It's called a whiny snowflake. And it's just disgusting. And that's just further dividing this country. And it's no surprise whatsoever. But nonetheless, it's disappointing. I got to move on. There's this author and activist, Marianne Williamson, which up until about the last 24 hours ago, we had no idea who she was, but she actually happens to be the only Democrat officially in the running to be president in 2024. The White House not taking that too seriously, I guess. Williamson now clapping back. Watch.
Imagine 8-ball, whatever. If I can feel her aura, I just don't have anything. I just don't have anything to share on that.
I was so sad to see the commentary of the president's press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, about me, about crystal balls, which I've never spoken or written about, and auras, which I've never spoken or written about, and just speaking so derisively and in such mocking terms about someone who is running for president of the United States. And as a woman, and this is the Democratic Party.
Marianne did run in 2016, but again, most of us have never seen of her, have never heard of her, but nonetheless, she's running as a Democrat. And so you would think the White House, being a woman especially, would say, good for her, good luck. I mean, our horse isn't in the race just yet, but good luck. But no.
And by the way, Julie, did you hear the cackling from some of the reporters in that room when Karine Jean-Pierre said that? Good professional job, guys. Way to go.
No.
And by the way, if there's anyone on this planet who should not be mocking anyone, it is the worst, and it isn't even close, press secretary of our lifetime and Karine Jean-Pierre. I mean, this is the same press secretary, Julie, who said just yesterday, with a straight face, mind you, that the amount of fentanyl coming into the United States through the U.S. southern border is at, quote, historic lows,
Oh, yes, I talked about this
so,
earlier in the show because it's probably the most outright lie. I would say ever, but there's been so many. But let's just say the biggest lie of the month, shall we?
Lie, and she's insulting the thousands of parents who have found their kids dead from that poison over the past 2 years plus. So I would think an apology is coming, but that's not in the DNA. And Marianne Williamson is right, by the way. The Democratic system is rigged to an extent, and what I mean is through the superdelegate system. Just ask Bernie Sanders supporters, because it allows the power brokers within the party to tip the scales to whoever is deemed the desired candidate. So she makes a good point there, Jules, no question.
Yeah, and Karine should, quite frankly, as a woman, be ashamed of herself. She should issue an apology, but this White House doesn't apologize for anything. They just deny and move on. And that's what we got to do. We got to move on. Joe Concha, love you. Thanks for coming on. Thank you for watching the Faulkner Focus. Outnumbered is after the break, and I'll be back tomorrow. See you then.